All right, now over here, you got to click on this. And now, what's the next thing you got to do? Same thing every week. What you got to do now? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's all right, that's all right. You still did a better job. I didn't have to give you no instruction. I'm just saying, look, that's all right. That's all right. I didn't have to tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's right. When you was over there, you just did it. You know what I'm saying? Him, I got to give him instructions a little bit. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, listen, it's all right, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. All right, y'all be quiet. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahuah. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching on the camera, to the saints in the chat, to the saints scattered around the world that we don't even know about. But no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Man, well, no, you know, anytime that boy messed up, but you can never have my job. Now what? I'll knock you out. This is Leviticus chapter 19. Go to Leviticus chapter 19. We pick up where we left off last week. Last week we talked a lot about how to treat our brothers, how to treat our people, right? How to treat each other. Most High God told us, you know what I'm saying, we're not supposed to be holding grudges and try to take revenge, you know what I'm saying, for ourselves. If our brother come to us and offend us, what we supposed to do? You're supposed to go right to him. Good job, boys. That's what you're supposed to go right to him and talk to him, let him know, like, look, man, that's what you did. You can't hold on to that stuff in your heart. You hold on to that stuff in your heart, it festers. Right? It's a difference between forgiving somebody and then sitting there. A forgiveness, man, it got to be a conversation behind that. Got to be a conversation behind forgiveness. A lot of us be trying to pretend like we forgive somebody. We don't have no conversation because we avoid confrontation a lot of times. Right? Even if you forgive somebody, it need to be a conversation behind that if you're able. If you're able to have that conversation, you let them know, like, man, this is what you did. Even in forgiveness, you got to let them know what the offense is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what happened, but don't worry about it. We good. You even to me. Right? That's what real forgiveness is. A lot of us let that stuff fester, and our heart book told us we can't do that. Right? It also told us not to mingle the seed. Right? Told us not to mingle the seed. Book also told us not to let two different kinds of animal gender themselves. So we talked about how, you know, in the physical sense, it's the Most High God showing us order to keep the different types of things that we wear and the type of things that we eat, keep them separate. But in the spiritual sense, it testifies of us being separate from different kinds, right? We talked about us being the kind after the order of Yahuah versus a kind after the order of Satan. And when a person is a kind of Satan, we need to make sure that we have a spiritual separation from that. You can't always have a physical separation, right? But when we talk about things spiritually, you got to have a spiritual separation. What does a spiritual separation look like? Nobody know?
I don't do what you do.
Spiritual separation.
Mm-hmm. What does it look like when you spiritually separate from somebody? We might be next to each other physically, but what does it look like when we different spiritually?
And no, I'm literally.
Hurry up, man! Just give me an answer. That's all I need. I just need an answer.
And on the inside, you don't. On the inside.
Nah, man. When you spiritually separate, man, you got different behavior. You talking about on the inside? You know what I'm saying? You got different. You was about to say that, huh? All right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have different behavior. You gotta have a different reputation. You don't want to be standing next to somebody and they a child of Satan, you a child of the Most High God, but people look at y'all and they assume the both things. Both of them be getting drunk and cussing in line, right? Both of them be running their darn mouth. You know what I'm saying? Both of them be stealing and shooting and murdering. No, you want to be able. If I stand next to a murderer, I want them to be able to know, like, that's the murderer. That's the son of the Most High God. My reputation got to tell me that. And if it don't, then guess what? Yeah, I don't really want to be next to you. My behavior got to be so starkly different that I can stand next to you and people know what's going on. Right? Sometimes we can't get away from people physically. What else we talked about last week? Grab Romans chapter 8. Let me see what Romans chapter 8. What'd you say, verse 12? No, that's too far. You can't do 5.
Verse 6.
What we talk about? I don't know what you talking about, boy. That's all right. You gave it a shot. I ain't never heard no darn 7 commandments. What you talking about, Proverbs? You acting like a Christian, writing your own darn book. That's crazy. That's what they be doing. They be over there writing their own darn book. The Christian tell you about 10 commandments and give you 9 of them. Which one they leave out? Everybody know which one they leave out. Which one they leave out? They'll tell you 10. They can't count. Christian darn can't count. They tell you it's 10 commandments. You got to keep the 10 commandments. Then which one they never talk about? Y'all don't know. Don't nobody know. Idolatry? No, they talk about idolatry. No, they talk about stealing. Now we gotta talk about this Exodus chapter. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20 real quick. We gotta read the 10 commandments out of the Christian Standardized Version. Who got the Christian Standardized Version Bible? We gotta read it out of the Christian Standardized Version. We about to read it to you right now. This is the Christian Standardized Version. We about to read Exodus chapter 20. Give me verse 1. Let me see if nobody in the chat told us. Oh yeah, no, Sister Pam knew. Don't be giving them the answer, Sister Pam. Sister Pam knew exactly what I was talking about. It's Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. Watch this.
And God spake all these words, saying,
Which one? I just want y'all to tell me which one y'all never heard a Christian say. It's 10 commandments, though. We gonna count them. Look, everybody go just like this. We starting at 10. I like counting down. Let's just go like that. Every time we hit a commandment, drop a finger. You know what I'm talking about? You ready? So look, this is what God said. What? Exodus chapter 20, verse 1.
I am Yahuah thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of thine house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness, or anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down thyself
Christian,
to them.
look, that one should stop the Christian. The first command we talking about, that should stop the Christian. Because every Christian, what they got around their darn neck? A darn cross. Man, just told you don't make no darn image. But hold on, the rich Christian, look, you find you a Christian that really got some money, what they gonna have? Hey, look, I'm a Christian. Sometimes you got to role play. I'm a Christian, right? And I got some money. Good money. What I got? I got me a little, look, I got a charm. And it got the face of Jesus on it. And it ain't just a regular Jesus. It's the good Greek Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's the good darn Roman Jesus with the flowing hair. You know what I'm saying? With the hair twisted around the side like this. It's the Hispanic Jesus. That's what he is. He be sitting there, look. He's like, you know what I'm saying? He twisted to the side just like this. That's how I go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look, the Jesus that be on the piece, that boy might pop out and say, "Que paso?" You know what I'm saying? That boy, you know what I'm saying? He might pop out. Hey, look, the Jesus that be on the piece, that boy, he might pop out and be like, what? How do you say something in Greek? He might say, "Oui, oui." You know what I'm saying? That boy might, you know what I'm saying? What's that, French? He might say, "Oui, oui." You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Somebody, who is that? That boy might be, "Cowabunga, dude." You know what I'm saying? Like, he might just pop out because you never know, but that's the one that they put on the piece. Right? They don't really understand. They don't really know that that's idolatry. Right? Keep going. There's some black ones too. The black one with the dreadlock. You know what I'm saying? They need to be smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? They look. Hey, the black Jesus. They be having the black Jesus with incense and smoking weed. I be looking like, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, man. The Hebrews like crazy. You can't raise your hand on that one. You're not allowed to. You just not. Right? This is
You want to know about the Chinese Jesus?
Oh. No, man, we can't do that. Come on, man. I ain't never seen. Have you ever seen a Chinese Jesus? Man, Chinese people don't allow no foolishness like that in their country. Look, man, in China, I just saw this today. Craziest thing I ever saw. In China, they don't play with no darn. They not playing with Jesus. What's wrong with y'all? You think they playing with Jesus out there? Listen, in China, they have built a whole city, right? But they let their citizens keep their land. So you like, you know, like you ever heard of eminent domain? Mm-hmm. Eminent domain is a rule that is in America. If they feel like it's critical infrastructure, meaning it's something that they need to build that would connect cities or make sure that a city runs right, they will claim eminent domain. And you know what, Leon, if you own a house and I need to build a city or build a road right through your house, I'm going to claim eminent domain. And you know what I'm going to tell you? I'll pay you some money, but you got to get out your house. And guess what you got to do? You got to get out your house. I'll give you some money, though, but you got to get out your house. I don't know. So, look, in China, they got a different rule. That same situation, you know what China can do? Man, look, I want to build a road. Tell me what you want to have. No, man, you're supposed to say, I want to stay in my house. Guess what I got to do? I got to build around that thing. So if you look in China, they call them nail houses. I learned about this this morning. They call them nail houses. Y'all look it up. You got a whole like skyscraper and a big sidewalk. And then you got this house sitting on the edge of the sidewalk right in the middle of the city. You mean to tell me you think a person that's willing to sit in the middle of a darn city with a whole city built around them, you think he about to put up with a Chinese Jesus? Y'all done lost y'all darn mind. They stubborn butt. They look at a Chinese Jimmy like, nah, they might tell him, nah, he was black. We not going for that. You know what I'm saying? They got principles. You know what I'm saying? When you got listen, it's just the people that don't have principles that'll go for anything. They had changed the rules and go for everything. It's a lot of people in China that got principles. No, I'm standing on what I stand on, literally, and build the city around me. That man was in the middle of the dog, holding the dog. He had a dog sitting there in the middle of the thing. It's a whole road right here, a whole building on the back of him. He like, oh, well. Oh, well. I saw one, it was a freeway because that thing blew my mind. I was like, this can't be real. That thing blew my mind. I've never heard of this in my life. They had a whole freeway. They had to make the freeway go curve like that because it was a house in the middle of it. And they had to build a wall around it. My man can't even get out of his house good because you could tell they being passive aggressive. Like, you don't want to move? Okay. Like, you can tell that's what they doing. But they so stubborn. It's just like, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to climb out my house then. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what happens. No, they ain't got no China. I ain't never seen no Chinese Jesus. I can't help you with that one. You know what I'm saying? Buddha's a whole different stuff, but that's idolatry. That is idolatry. All right, let's keep going. We down. Look, we at 9. Man, come on. You got to keep up, man. We at 9. Keep going. Let's see.
For I am the Lord thy God, and a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
That's right.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Drop another finger. Here we go.
For Yahuah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Man, look, you get to run in your mouth and get to be like, man, look, on God, man, on God I did that. And your butt lie. That ain't his name. But you on Yahuah I did that. Guess what? I got that, boy. I got that. Why you got to tell somebody on God? Why you got to tell them that? Why you got to say on God? What you trying to do? When you say on God to somebody, what you trying to do? You trying to convince them, aren't you? You trying to make them believe that you telling the truth about something. Why you can't just say, that's what I'm going to do?
Let your yes be yes.
Books say, let your yes be your yes. All I got to do is tell them, no, that's what I'm going to do. What, you scared he not going to believe you? Ooh, so what? When's the last time y'all see me scared that somebody don't believe me about something? I don't care what you believe. I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do, whether you believe me or not. What you believe me got to do with anything? When's the last time the Most High God stopped moving because somebody don't believe in him? When's the last time you seen the sun just like not come up because somebody was like, Most High God ain't gonna bring it up? It don't matter. It don't matter what you talking about. That sun and that moon gonna keep moving. That's how we gotta be. We gotta be steadfast and focused on the mission. We can't let nobody, just because somebody don't believe us or somebody don't support us or somebody, that can't move us. Care nothing about what you talking about. I don't care if you believe in my ideas. I don't care if you believe in what I believe in. It doesn't change the mission. It don't change what I gotta do. The Most High God put something in front of us. And we gotta want it bad enough to get it. We gotta want it that bad enough to not turn to the left or the right. You get to telling somebody on God and on God, that means you need them to believe you. And as soon as you need something too much, that's where the devil attacks. As soon as you let the devil know, I need this, guess what's going to happen? Got it. That's all I need you to tell. Whatever you depend on, that's a target. Now you got to sit here and pray to God, be like, have mercy now. You know what I'm saying? Have mercy now. You don't need nobody to believe. You ain't got to tell nobody no on God. Forget these boys. These boys don't believe you, then guess what? That's their problem. You just be a man and a woman of your word. Do what you're supposed to do. Let's get back. What fingers we at? 8? Keep going. Let's see what we got.
For I'm the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
That's right.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for Yahuah will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain.
That's right.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
He said, what now?
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Now, which one you think a Christian never gonna touch? Man, you ain't gonna never see a Christian talking about some remember the Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? They gonna skip all around. You ain't never seen such acrobatics. You know what I'm talking about? They gonna jump right over that thing. What's her name? Simone Biles. You know what I'm saying? They about to swing all past that thing. Flip, 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 and go. What's the one after that? Don't steal.
But the 7th day, the Sabbath. Honor thy father and thy mother.
They about to go right to that. They be like, don't take his name in vain now. And go ahead and honor your mother and your father. Be like, wait a minute, what happened? And I'll see y'all on Sunday. You know, tell me that thing goes, I'll see you on darn Sunday. Right? That's the new standardized Christian version that we just read out. If we read it out of the Hebrew version, or if we read it out of King James or any other version, it's gonna tell you about the Sabbath. That's how that thing works. Let's go to Romans chapter 8. This is Romans, huh? Yeah, no, it's just Romans chapter 8. It's Romans chapter 8. Give me verse 5. We got a lot to cover. This is Romans chapter 8. Give me verse 5.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Look, it says, for they that are after the flesh. What does that mean? After the flesh. Doing stuff in the physical. Because all of us got stomachs, right? And then when our stomach tell us that you hungry, what we gonna do? You gonna eat. Sometimes if it takes too long to eat, how do you feel? Tired. How else? Start irritable, right? You get irritable. Anybody ever heard of what's it called? What they be calling when you don't eat and you be mad? Hangry. Hangry, that's what it is. Anybody heard of somebody being hangry? That's when you, hey, hush, boy. That's when you hungry and you angry at the same time. Right? You get a little cranky. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get hungry, you get a little cranky. You know what I'm saying? Then you get all irritable. And people start getting on your nerves. Well, so that's what it is when you live after the flesh. You have a physical part of your body that starts dictating how you feel. Right? And then in dictating how you feel, you then follow that feeling. Because I'm hungry, I get angry, and then I get mad and lash out at somebody. Because I'm happy, I make a foolish decision and I ignore all of good wisdom. Because I'm sad, I become self-destructive and I do things that ruin my life. Right? Because I'm mad, I want to hurt and punish someone, although it's not in my power, my authority to do that punishment. So those are the different things that are after the flesh. When you follow after the flesh, it's usually things that start with an emotion, right? And you have an emotion that leads you into lust. You have an emotion that leads you into murder and into stealing, into covetousness, right? Those are the types of things that are after the flesh, right? But then you also have, watch what he say next.
But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death.
He said, but to be what?
Carnally minded is death.
What does carnal mean?
Flesh.
Flesh. You ever heard of a carnivore? What is a carnivore? Let me hear them straight A's, boy. Tell me what a carnivore is. That's right. That's very good. You know what it was too? Let me hear it then. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So look, you got an animal and it eat only meat. That makes it a carnivore. So that's the same root word as carnal, right? Carnal is talking about our flesh, our meat.
Carne asada.
Carne asada, right? It's talking about our flesh. It's talking about our meat, right? So when you live after your flesh, when you let your body, your physical body, demand that you feel a certain way, and then you respond to those feelings, that means you're following your flesh, right? You're following your physical body. But if you're carnal, right? If you follow your physical flesh, if you listen to the stuff your physical flesh tell you to do, that means that you're not spiritual. So read it again. Watch this.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Right? So now, if you are carnally minded, you will know it. You want to know how you know it? You will have reactions out of anger, out of fear, out of lust, out of sorrow. These actions will control you. It's not that you feel it. It's that you respond to it in a way that appeases it. You feed into it, right? Everything that happens inside of us has an appetite. And when you starve the things inside of us, they go away, right? But if you don't starve them, then and you feed into it. So your negative feelings might say, I'm sad. And then you know what the next thought might be? Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Everybody treats. Anybody ever been mad and say, man, I never get my way? Right? You be saying that, right? I never. But is it true? If you really thought about it, be like, well, no, actually, that went my way. That went my way. Oh, yeah, that was nice. That went my way. But when you sad, guess what you said? Man, I never went my way. Right? So when you have those thoughts, you have to make sure you check yourself and be like, that's not true. That's not true that I never had my way. I often have my way. In fact, it almost always goes my way. That's why I'm so upset that this one didn't go my way, because I'm a darn spoiled butt. And I'm throwing a darn tantrum because I've learned that throwing a tantrum is how I get stuff to go my darn way. You got to check yourself. You got to be able to remind yourself of what reality is, what's real. Because otherwise, these spirits working through your flesh will take over. I want y'all to calm down. I want y'all to pay attention. You with me, Leon? All right, everybody calm down. Everybody pay attention. Right? It's important that we know how to regulate ourselves. Because if we don't, we will follow our flesh. So one way to know that you following your flesh is when you have somewhat of an emotional reaction, and then you feed that emotion. When you say, I never get my way, that's feeding the emotion. It's giving the emotion what it wants, right? When you say, nobody loves me, nobody understands what I'm going through, guess what you're doing? You're feeding that emotion, right? When you happy, you doing good, like, man, I'm the man out here in these streets. I'm feeling good, this, that, and the other. And that little girl, she walked past me like, ooh. And you start lusting over her, that's feeding that emotion. right? It's feeding it. Now, what does it look like when you spiritually minded? Well, you take the same situation, right? I feel sad and I feel like I never get my way. Guess what you say? That's not true. It's not true. I actually often get my way. I'm not getting my way in this situation. And sometimes that's how it goes. I'm going to accept and praise the Most High God when it goes the way I originally desired. And I'm going to accept and praise the Most High God when it doesn't. You have to resist your flesh, right? And that's when you're being spiritually minded. If you feel like you are how you feel, you are carnal. When you know that your feelings are simply temptation, that's when you know I'm bigger than my feelings. If you feel like I'm mad at this person, but I'm still going to treat them with respect. If you feel like that's fake, that's how you know you're carnal, right? But when you can be upset with somebody on the inside, but still treat them with love and respect, that's being spiritually minded. That means that the spirit and the feeling is not taking control of you. And the more you train yourself to be that way, the easier it gets. Because guess what? All of the spirits inside of you, they're all starved. They don't have no food because you never feed them. And when you never feed them, you now get control over your flesh. And you don't follow your flesh. Your flesh is made to follow you through the Most High God. Keep going. Watch this.
For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the
What does
law of
enmity mean?
fighting against.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, when the Crip come in,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to put it in terms.
Right.
When the Crip come in, he might got it. So y'all don't know nothing about it, but he might have his rag on the left side. You know what I'm saying? And just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? And then let's say we in a party. You know what I'm saying? It's a party. He come in, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He start maybe sleepwalking, doing all that, right? And then the blood come in. But everybody know the Crip there. Everybody be like, oh, that's my man. That's Sibo. You know what I'm saying? Crip's all you got. That's Sibo. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, right? And so everybody know it there. But then that blood walk in after that. Everybody see the blood walk in. Things get real quiet. It's like, oh. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? That thing, everything get quiet. That feeling that everybody feel is like, that's enmity.
I'll explain later.
That's tension. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is everybody saying exactly what he just asked? What happens after that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, should we leave or should we stay? It depends on the boy. You know what I'm saying? Some of these boys, they just fashionable. You know what I'm saying? Some of these boys don't mean nothing. Everybody keep partying. It's good. Don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean ain't nobody gonna do nothing. But then some of these boys, you know what I'm saying? Some of these boys find the nearest door. You know what I'm saying? Get out of there.
I remember at
Yeah,
Lexus Park.
Boy, Lexington Park. Ain't that what it said? Hey, we at the Lexington Park. Said,
we about to go, man.
Them boys, look, they walking next to each other. Yeah, what up? Yeah, what up? You know what I'm saying? Doing all their thing. All of a sudden, what was it about? Maybe 2 punches thrown. Zoom, zoom. Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness gracious.
Man down.
It was one of our first parties. Goodness gracious. Everybody relax. But that's enmity. Right? That's enmity. So when the book tell you being carnally minded is enmity with God, you got to figure out who got to tuck their rag.
Mm-hmm.
You got to figure out who is going to be the one that comes out of this. Do you think we about to go against God and win? Man, if you don't tuck that thing, if you don't tuck that thing, that's how boys used to be. When they outnumbered, they think you don't see him too. Even him should be like, you tucking that thing? Like, well, I saw you. You know what I'm saying? I saw you. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? You know
they called me one time. I
wasn't even gonna press you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even gonna do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? I saw your butt.
Man, I'm a dead man.
Yeah, buddy. Sometimes that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? So it's important. We got to make sure that we walk after the Spirit. If we walk after the Spirit, God is on our side. If we walk after the flesh, now we got to fight with God, and you won't win. Right? You're not gonna come out on top. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19. Give me verse 19. Y'all good?
Leviticus what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to split y'all up in a second.
Leviticus 19.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 19. It's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 19. Then go sit over here, man. It's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 19. Watch the book say.
Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not
Hold
let.
on. What statutes? Who remembers? Statutes. What's a statute? Rules. Rules.
Boundary.
A boundary. Look at this, man. Look at this. Boundary. Boundary. Boundary, right? It's rules that form a boundary. Y'all all right, but it's rules that form a boundary. Yeah, I'll cut it out. Y'all, that's hate. Let's go. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 19. Watch what the book say. Take her in there for me.
Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not.
Give me verse 20.
And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to a husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death because she was not free.
All right, so I want y'all to pay attention to what's being said. We got to read this a little bit slower. I want y'all to pay attention to what's being said here. First of all, I want y'all to know, if there's any Hebrew Israelites watching, y'all don't know the law. Y'all don't know nothing about this darn law. Y'all should be watching. So look, let's read this really slow and make sure we understand what's being said here. Read it one more time, verse 20.
And whosoever lies carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid.
Whosoever lies carnally with a woman. We just talked about what carnal is. What does that mean? It's the flesh. So whosoever lies carnally with a woman shall do what? That's talking about sex, right? Keep going.
That is a bondmaid.
Right? So she's a bondmaid. What's a bondmaid?
Servant.
That's a servant woman, right? So if you have a servant woman and you lie with your servant woman, and then what happens? I mean, not you, but somebody lies with your servant woman. Watch this.
Betrothed to her husband.
But she's betrothed to you, right? So you got a servant woman and she's betrothed to you. In other words, she's engaged to you. She wants to marry, or y'all want to marry each other. So y'all got plans to get married. But she's also your servant, right? She works for you. And then somebody else comes and they lay with her. And they do so carnally, right? Watch this.
And not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death because she was not free.
The book say, if she's not redeemed and she hasn't been set free, then she shall, it say scourged, but the Hebrew word there actually just mean examined. The book says she shall be examined. But what happened? What shall not happen?
They shall not be put to death because she was not free.
Neither of the two of them shall be put to death, though. Right? Hebrew Israelites, I'm about to teach y'all something. Y'all don't know no darn law. It's always been in this book, but y'all don't understand it because y'all never take the time to learn the law. Y'all like to play on Christians and talk to Christians like, oh, the law, but y'all don't actually know the law, nor do you take the time to study the law. You just know about feast darn days, right? So now let's talk about this. Why is it that a woman who is a bondmaid that is not free, although she is engaged to you for marriage, if she cheats on you, there is no actual punishment for her other than her being examined, and then the man, go keep reading. Let's see what happened to the man. This is called a judgment. Whenever we have a boundary, and then what happens when a person crosses the boundary, the punishment for what happens after the boundary, that's called a judgment, right? So we're reading a judgment right now. Keep going.
And he shall bring his trespass offering to Yahuah upon the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before Yahuah for his sin which he had done. And the sin which he hath done shall be forgiven him.
Right? So this is the trespass offering that comes in response to laying with another man's woman, but she's a servant. She's not free. The book is saying if she's a servant and has not been set free, that means they do not die. Right? Well, let's hold we got there, because we got to come back and try to understand this, but we need to understand what happens if she were not a bondservant. I mean, a bondmaid. Right? What would happen in that same scenario if she were not a bondmaid? This is Deuteronomy chapter 21. Or is it 22? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 22. I think it's 22. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 22. Give me verse 23. Let's see what the book says. Chapter 22, verse 23. Watch what the book says. That's Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 23.
If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed to a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her.
Right? So it's the same scenario. A woman engaged, so that's betrothed, right? Engaged to a husband. And what happened?
And a man find her in the city and lie with her.
Uh-huh.
Then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city.
And what's going to happen?
And you shall stone them with stones that they die.
They both got to die. If a man comes sleep with my woman that I'm about to get engaged with, I didn't propose to. I said, Tasha, will you marry me? You know what I'm saying? And then somebody came. This is definitely a different universe. You know what I'm saying? But they both got to go. And guess who's going to be standing right in the front? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it has to happen. That's the book. Right? But keep going. Watch this. He's going to tell you why.
And ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he has humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away the evil from among you.
If that happens, you shall put away the evil. However, if the woman was not free, if she was a bondservant, right, and you didn't set her free, guess what? She fair game. It's still wrong now, but nobody got to die. You know what I'm saying? They're going to examine the woman, and the man go make a sacrifice, and everybody got to go about their merry way. Right? So we see the difference. The only difference in these two scenarios, one where both have to die, the man who cheated and the woman who cheated, they both have to die. And in the other, the man who cheated and the woman have to cheat it. One, the woman gets examined, right? Usually probably by the judges. They check her out, make sure, everything is okay. Then they look at the man and they say, hey man, you got to make a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and bring, bring the sin offering, bring the trespass offering, and then send them on this way. And that's it. It's a done deal after that. The judgment is complete. That seemed like a light sentence in comparison to dying, huh? Right? So we got to ask ourselves, why? Why is it that way? Why did the Most High God set it up that way? Let's see if we can figure it out. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20. So the sister said, isn't this fornication? That's fornication. Absolutely. That's fornication.
One with a slave that doesn't have children. Not free to make her own decision.
Well, she belongs to somebody else, though.
I know, but she not free.
But the man didn't have to die either. Neither one of them died.
In most cases, they did.
No, if you see in the other scenario, so in one scenario, both have to die. Same thing. The only difference in them two scenarios is one had a free man. One had a free woman, and the other had a bond servant or bondmaid, right? In one scenario where the woman was free and she wasn't a bond servant or a bondmaid, they both died. The man and the woman have to die, right? In the other scenario, right, the only difference is they made a decision and the woman was a bondservant, right? In that scenario, neither of them die, and neither of them have any harsh punishment. right? So we're about to see exactly why that is, right? This is and I want y'all to see the righteousness of the Most High God in this. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20. It's Deuteronomy chapter 20. Give me verse 10. Jump on down to verse 10 for the sake of time.
When you come nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it.
So look, when you come nigh to a city to fight against it, you know what you first got to do? Got to proclaim peace. You got to go to it and be like, peace. We come in peace. The Israelites, we come in peace. No, we don't want no, listen, we don't want no problems, but we like what y'all got going on here. This is what the book tells us to do. Look, yo, Gentiles, y'all got a nice setup here, a lot of resources. We like this. We come in peace though. We don't want to kill nobody. That's what we tell them. We not coming to kill you, right? But watch what happened.
And it shall be, if it make the answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee.
Right? So look, if they come, I just want y'all to know this is not like peace as in, hey, let's be friends and allies. That's not the conversation that we having. The conversation that we having is, yo, hey, we can do this peacefully or not. Right? I don't want to have to kill nobody. We say, hey, I like what y'all get. Y'all got a nice place here. I like it. We don't want to have to kill anybody though. If the people respond to be like, hey, look, don't kill us. Let's keep it peaceful. Then the book say, cool. They can be tributaries to you. Tributaries mean they got to pay taxes to you. They got to serve you. So they can become servants to you. Right? However, let's see what the other option is.
And they shall serve thee. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it.
Right? So then if they want to make war with you, guess what you're going to do? You got to besiege it. You know what I'm saying? You got to besiege it. And that means, when they say besiege, that means you got to surround that thing and crack through their darn walls and mess some people up. Somebody got to die, in other words, right? Keep going, though. It's not over.
And when Yahuah thy God delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God has given thee.
Right? So it says the women, the children, and the cattle, y'all got to take them. Right? So when you go, you started out, right? Hey, y'all sit down, man. Sit down, because y'all got baby girl right here. She by the cord. I just want y'all to sit down. Right? When you go, you can proclaim peace. If they stay peace back, then they can become your tributaries. They can serve you. However, if they want to go to war, the book tells you kill all the men and spare the women and the children and the cattle. Once you have the women and the children and the cattle, you take them with you. So they become tributaries to you. Keep going. Watch this.
Thus shalt thou do unto thee, unto all the cities that are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations.
Right? You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it to the cities that's far off. You can't do it to the, you know what I'm saying, to the Canaanites. That's crazy. Right? But if you go to a far away city, that's what you could do. Right? What verse is that?
15.
Jump over to chapter 21. This is chapter 10. So for the sake of time, we're not going to read all the way through it, but all of this is talking about the same thing. It jumps over to chapter 21, verse 10, and picks up with the same thing. Watch what it says.
When thou goest forth to war against the enemies, and Yahuah thy God has delivered them into thine hands, and thou takest them captive, and sees among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife.
Right? So now he told us, right? If you beat up all the men, and now you got to spare the women, the children, and the cattle, you take them to yourself. So now he's telling you, when that happens, and you take the women, the children, and the men, but of the women, you see one that looks fine. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice looking Gentile. That's what he's telling. That Gentile right there, these Hebrew Israelites tell you ain't supposed to, look, you can't touch a Gentile. I would just say, what the book telling you right now? He said, He said it got to be a faraway city. What Israelite you going to see in a faraway city that you going to go to war with and proclaim peace and kill all the men? Tell me when the book ever told you to do that. Not talking about no darn Israelite. He talking about a faraway city. He talking about Gentile. He said, man, that's a nice white girl. You know what I'm saying? Look at her. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at her. He said, if the white girl look good to you, watch what happens.
And you see in among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house.
Look, he said, when you see that beautiful Zah, that's what they call them. They call them Zah. You know what I'm saying? The exotic girl. When you see that beautiful, oh, she Colombian. You know what I'm saying? He said, when he said, hey, bring her on through here. He said, then you take her home, and then what's going to happen?
And she shall serve and bring her home in thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
Oh, go ahead and cut him off. You know what I'm saying? Cut off the hair. And then you got to clip your nails. You know what I'm saying? Clip your nails, shave your head. And then what else you got to do?
And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that,
she had to take off her clothes of captivity. You had to give her clothes, right? And then you had to give her space to mourn her family, right? Because we serve a gracious God. We don't serve no cruel God. No, I didn't kill, you know what I'm saying? I killed your dad. I killed your husband. I killed, you know what I'm saying? I killed all of them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and take some time, cry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back. Here you go. Take them clothes off. That's your captivity clothes. You ain't, no, I like you. You know what I'm saying? Take that off. Here goes some other clothes. I'm going to close the door. You got 30 days to yourself and just get it all out. When I come back, you know what I'm saying? I like you. You know what I'm talking about? That's what he's saying. So he's like, get it all out. You know what I'm saying? Get everything out. 30 days. And this is what our book says. It's our law. Watch this.
And after that, thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
You shall be what?
Her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
You like her. Y'all like each other. Y'all go. Y'all look. Look, man. Go cry. Because I killed a lot of your people. I did. You know what I'm saying? So go, close yourself off, cry about it. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you need. Anything, God, bring some water. Take them clothes off. Put on some good, you know what I'm saying? It's Israelite clothes now. You know what I'm saying? Take off the clothes of your captivity. You know what I'm saying? It's Israelite clothes now. You've been chosen at this point. You're not just somebody out here working. I'm bringing you into my house specifically because I like you. Right? So then you take care of her, and then you walk out, and then watch what happens.
And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go where she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
Right? So now, if after that you looking like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You can move on. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like you. It's not working out. You know what I'm saying? The book say, okay, you let her go. But what you got to do?
You cannot sell her for money, and you cannot make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
You gotta set her free, and you can't accept no money for her. You can't accept no money. So when you marry your captive, she's supposed to be free. If she's sitting there waiting for you to marry her, and you the one that's like, no, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? No, we gonna get around to it. I'm gonna marry you, girl. I am. I'm gonna marry you, but keep being my servant. Right? That's wrong. So now, if somebody come and snatch her up, guess what? Oops. Oh, well. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, you got to make a sacrifice. Let me examine her. All right, y'all run along. Y'all good. You got to eat that because you should have set her free. You can't have it both ways. You can't have a bondwoman and at the same time say, I love you as an equal. You can't do that. That's not our law. You can't have a servant and then at the same time have somebody that say, you're my wife, we're one. That don't make sense. Well, that's different. I set you free first. You know what I'm saying? Circle of life. You know what I'm talking about? Right? But that's not our law. Our law wouldn't have that. It's a lot of these brothers out here that treat they women like servants and then won't marry them. Got them sitting waiting.
You heard that he was father.
Right?
He married
You got them out there just waiting, sitting around like, no, you know what I'm saying? What a piece of paper going, you know what I'm saying? What a piece, you know what I'm saying? They always scratch their chest when they, what a piece of paper gonna do, you know what I'm saying? I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I don't want the government in my business. Yo, boy, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what? Your darn business. What are you talking about? You probably don't want the government in your business. You know what I'm saying? You got kids by 2 other women that got you on child support. Your butt ain't trying to pay it. You there collecting money under the table. You know what I'm saying? Like a darn, I can't even say it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I want to say though. I can't even say it. My men's is here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to offend nobody. You know, you getting under the table money. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Talking about you don't want the government in your business. That's crazy, right? But that's what they do. That's improprietary. Our book don't allow for that, right? So to balance the situation, the Most High God say, well, no, we're not punishing her and him to death because you didn't handle it right. You should have set her free. You either gonna listen, if you killed her family, you brought her in, she like you, y'all like each other, you think you about to marry her, you humble the woman, you know what I'm saying? And then you just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? We good. You supposed to set her free. If you humble her, you supposed to marry her. If you don't humble her, you supposed to set her free. Those are the options. You let her go and let her stay out there, or you marry her and you humble her and be with her. But other than that, you don't have no middle ground. You can't have it both ways. I got a servant. You work for me. You my tributary. You do all these things. And then at the same time, no, hold off. I'm going to marry you though later. Man, no, man, that's not fair. You make her your servant only, or you marry the girl. That's what Weinstein's problem was. You know what I'm saying? He had messing with all them girls. He had messing with all them girls that worked for him. That's what his problem was. Who else was doing that? Who else they get doing that? Who? How you do it? Okay, go ahead. Give me an answer. No, you don't know what I'm talking about there. What happened? Let me see. Okay, so if your captive was married, you can marry her. Yeah, because you killed her husband. And what is the examination for? Like checking for, I don't know. That part I don't know what the examination for. The book don't describe it. But so it's translated in our book as scourge. And usually scourge means like a whipping, right? That's how that's how in English it says scourge. But if you look up the Hebrew word behind it, it doesn't mean scourge, it means examine. So what it says is they examine. So I don't know exactly what the examination was in this process, but what I can say, that is what it says. It says it examines the woman, and the man just got to make a sacrifice, and that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else in the law about that situation. Yeah, it could just be examine her to make sure she didn't get raped. Yeah, that's a possibility too. What'd you say now? A what? A sacrifice? But he got to do a substitute. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that when we get into the sacrifices. But yeah, he got to do a substitute. I don't see how the bondwoman and the virgin are any different. Neither is Mary, right? They're not different in terms of married. They're different in terms of how the man handled the bondwoman. If a man has a bondwoman, then she should be his bondwoman. If he wants a wife, then she should no longer be his bondwoman, and he should marry her. So the only difference is the man didn't handle her properly. He tried to have it both ways by having a bondwoman and have her wait to be his wife at the same time. So pretty much she living in his house. He acting like a wife with her, but he hasn't married her yet. You know what I'm saying? And so the book is saying in those conditions, if she cheat on him, then it's unlawful, but it's not the punishment of death. That's the only difference. The only difference is her being a bondwoman. Other than that, it's the same. Neither one of them are married. You're correct about that. Both are promised to marriage, but neither one of them are married. Let's keep going. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 22. It's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 22. Is that where we left off, 22?
Yeah.
It's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 22. Watch the book say.
And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before the Lord for his sin which he has done, and the sin which he has done shall be forgiven him.
Mm-hmm.
And when ye shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then ye shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised.
Right? So he says, look, when you planted your food and you come into the land, you're going to count the food. You're going to consider the food uncircumcised. Right? We don't have to get it, but where did we learn uncircumcised from? Where does that come from? Which one of our fathers told us about being uncircumcised? David? Abraham, right? Didn't the Most High God make a covenant with Abraham in the 17th chapter of Genesis? We don't have to get it, but in the 17th chapter of Genesis, he said, look, man, I'm making this covenant with you and to your household. If anybody that's in your household gets circumcised, you know what I'm saying? They are part of the covenant. And he also told them, even your servants, right? If you have bond women and bond servants, listen, they can be circumcised also. And he says, anybody who's circumcised, now they are a part of this covenant.
All the males.
All the males.
All the males, no women.
Yeah, all the males, right? They are a part of the covenant. The women are a part of the covenant through other means, right? But through the circumcision, if you are circumcised, then you know what I'm saying, you are a part of this covenant. What? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Is it when, you know what I'm saying, circumcision when you cut off your umbilical cord. So look, circumcision is when you cut off, you know what I'm saying, the foreskin of your
private part.
you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you were close. You were a little close. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that type. The umbilical, that's a clip though. The whole thing gotta go. You don't want that, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that close with that type of procedure. So hold on, we got another follow-up question. Hold on. So let's say, what about Hagar? He wasn't married to or going to marry her, so it was okay that she was a handmaid. Now that's a good question. So what's the difference between Hagar with Abraham and the situation that we just talked about? That's right. That's absolutely right. So my mom said, she said Sarah gave her. So grab what is that? Grab Genesis 16. We can spend some more time. There's a lot of questions on this, so let's spend some more time until we make sure we understand it. This is, I want to say, is it Genesis? Let's say Genesis chapter, is it 16 I want? Let me see what Genesis chapter 16 verse 1 say.
The law also was not established at this time.
Yeah, that's a good point too, right? There was no law yet. But even if there were law, I'm gonna show you where the difference is. This is Genesis chapter I want to say it's 16. Genesis chapter 16, verse 1.
Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar.
So who had a handmaid? Read it again.
Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid.
So who had a handmaid? Sarai had a handmaid, right? Not Abraham, right? The book said this is Sarai's handmaid. Watch what she did with her handmaid.
Whose name was Hagar.
Uh-huh.
And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, Yahuah has restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may
go
be
on into what?
My maid.
Who made this request?
Sarai.
Sarai made the request. So Sarai has a servant, and she's saying, hey, I can't have kids. So because of that, you can go into my maid. This was Sarai's, this is her compromise. This is what she's offering, right? Keep going. Watch this.
It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife.
So she gave her to her husband, not as a wife, right? But as a servant in place of her, right? Because she couldn't. Read it again. Watch this.
And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife.
Keep going.
And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived, and she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes.
Uh-huh.
And Sarai said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. Yahuah judged between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, behold, thy maid is in thine hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And
So who had control in that? So he said, thy maid, this is your servant. She's in your hands. You do as you please with her. Watch this. Keep going.
And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face.
Uh-huh.
And the angel of Yahuah found her by the fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence comest thou? And whither thou wilt go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel
She
of
flees from who?
the face of my mistress Sarai.
Right? So this was not the man's maidservant. This was not Abraham's maidservant. This was Sarai's maidservant. And then if you take it a little further, eventually she's set free anyway. Right? She's set free anyway. So it's important it's important to see those different distinctions, but that would be the one in this case. That you're right, sis Pam. Someone's gonna have to remember for me. My memory was bad. Memory bad on what? Did I miss a question? Okay, well if y'all got more questions, y'all put it in there. Go ahead.
In the same way, in Leviticus,
Mm-hmm.
this is actually the same thing. The slave has the person that owns the slave has authority over to make the judgment. So God only the justice and the right thing is to allow the owner to determine what should happen to the person. And in this case, she wasn't under the law in terms of like it being adultery, but she was under the law as it being owned by them. And they get to determine, like you were saying earlier, they do examine to see what type of offense was made.
Well, that's not in law. I don't want to. So, but yeah, that's a fine opinion. But the law itself, right, is very clear. I just want to speak about what's in the law. It don't tell us how they examine what was examined.
No, I'm not saying
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't want to go back and forth, Mom. But the law, it just tells us not what's examined, right? It simply tells us that there is an examination. And the law, from what we read in Leviticus, doesn't give the authority to the man who owns the maidservant. It simply says that the woman is examined and the other man are not killed, like nobody's killed. It doesn't say that the man gets to choose what happens to him. There are situations like that, though. We'll get to those other laws where the person that is in control does get to judge and say this happens versus this happening. But in this situation, we don't have that. We don't have that documented. This is Leviticus chapter 23. I think we is at. Don't come up here and making noise. Don't come up here and making noise. Y'all separate. Y'all chill, relax. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 23. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 23. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All these darn bodies.
Only reason that that's one was the air directly at
It's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 23.
And when ye shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then ye shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised. 3 years shall it be uncircumcised unto you; it shall not be eaten of.
So how long, if I plant, you want to plant, what's a tree? You want to plant an apple tree, right?
Nothing.
You know how long it
I've
takes for
seen them.
fruit to grow on that apple tree? About 3 years. How long? About 3 years, right? But when we took over our land and we go into the promised land, and let's see, we already have an apple tree there that got fruit on it. How long is it before we supposed to eat the fruit? 3 years. So even if you plant the tree, it's gonna take about 3 years to grow. But the Most High God say, look, you gotta wait 3 years to eat it, and it's not like the 3rd year you get to eat it. No. You gotta wait. Read it for me real quick. Watch what he say. Who said that? You just guess.
What?
But in the 4th year,
He said, in the what?
but in the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy to praise Yahuah withal.
Right. So now we can. He said, holy to do what?
Holy to praise Yahuah withal.
What does that mean?
Give it to the Most High.
We gotta have the first fruit. Gotta go to Him. Right. First fruit gotta go to Him. So you would have to take of the first fruit, and then you make an offering. After you make that offering, then you can eat it. Right? But it's 3 years. So it's a good apple tree just right there. You know what I'm saying? There for you. When we came into our land, book tell us we have to wait 3 years to do it. So then you can ask yourself, well, why is that? Why would the Most High God have us do that? Well, we don't know exactly. But we can take some guess, right? The Most High God does care for the land. Right? He does teach us how to care for the land. This is going back to Deuteronomy chapter 20 real quick. It's Deuteronomy chapter 20. So remember, we were talking about the you know what I'm saying, the friction that we have with a faraway nation. You know what I'm saying? What we leave off, verse 15? Let's pick up where
Deuteronomy what?
Deuteronomy chapter 20. I think we left off verse 15 when we was there.
We left off on 21.
No, we didn't, not 21. It can't be 21.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 20, 21. You said Deuteronomy 20?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we left off on 21.
You sure, bro? Yeah, I think it was 15. I'm almost positive.
20?
You probably think about 21 because we went to Deuteronomy 21 also. It's Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 15.
Yeah. All right.
You hit my mama, boy. You about to get knocked out. It's Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 15. Watch the book say.
Thus shalt thou do unto all these cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people.
Look, he said, but of the cities of these people, he's talking about the Canaanites and the Amorites.
Which Yahuah thy God does give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breathes. But thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, as Yahuah thy God has commanded thee. That they teach you not to do after all their abominations which they have done unto their God, so shall ye sin against Yahuah your God.
Watch this.
When you shall besiege a city a long time and making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof.
He said, thou shalt not what?
Destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For the tree of the field is a man's life, to employ them in the siege.
Right? So he's telling you, he's looking like, all right, listen, you got to win the war, but don't destroy the land that you're going to take over just to win the war. He's like, that tree is a man's life. So he's telling you, preserve the trees. Just because you got to win a war, don't get to chopping down the fruit trees. That's a man's life, right? So I want y'all to know, when the Most High God is giving us these laws, he's caring for our carnal body, not for us to follow our carnal body, but for our carnal body to be in subjection to him, right? So that way, when we're hungry, he teaches us what to eat and how we should eat it, right? He tells us it's not appropriate for you to eat that fruit of the tree. But at the same time, he tells us don't chop down the tree, because one day it's going to be appropriate for you to eat the fruit of that tree. Right? So everything with the Most High God is thinking about a long-term vision, a long-term plan. You can't align with God without hope. Right? If your thought process is there's nothing that comes after this, there's no way to align with God, because you have to have hope. The hope don't have to mean that that you're going to live this life for 30 more years. The hope has to be that there's something out after this. Right? If you don't have that hope in your brain, one, that's going to lead you to depression. Right? But if you don't have that hope in your brain, you can't align with the Most High God. Everything with the Most High God is thinking about the future, thinking about what's coming next, preparing for the next step. So he's telling you, let the tree sit for 3 years, but also telling you, when you go to war, don't chop down that darn tree, because that's going to be your life, right? That's going to be a man's life. Let's see. Jump over to John chapter 15 for me. Let's try to shoot through this real quick. This is John chapter 15. Give me verse 1. So we took a look at it from a physical sense, right? From a physical sense, who knows what the Canaanites was putting in the ground? Some of these plants that they got nowadays, they spray them with pesticides. They spray all this. They say all the food in America is ruined. All the food that's grown in America and exported else places, they ruin. It's some countries that won't even take some of our food. Some of our stuff, they look like, nah, we not taking that American stuff. Cause we get the spraying that they say, that's what they say. They say that we get the spraying it with all types of pesticides, and the pesticides poison the food. So it's like, that's why I can't get rid of the darn belly. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. That's why I can't get rid of the darn belly, because they got the pesticides all on it. Say something smart and you're gonna get a whooping. Oh, okay, that's appropriate. This is the Gospel of John. This is John without a number in front of it. It's John chapter 15, verse 1. Watch what the book says.
I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he purges it, that it may bring more fruit.
Uh-huh.
Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except ye abide in me.
So now look, if I plant a tree and it takes 3 years for it to grow, look it up if you want, right? It takes 3 years for this tree to grow and start to produce fruit. And then if the tree is already producing fruit and I come in the land, the Most High God say I gotta wait how long?
Yeah.
3 years, he say I gotta wait.
3 years. Yeah.
Right? I gotta wait 3 full years. And in the 4th year, now I can eat.
No, you gotta give it to God. In the 5th year, you can eat.
That's what it say?
Yeah.
Go back, let me see. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse what, 23?
I thought it was 20. Oh, yeah.
Might be 24. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 23. Yeah. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 23, real quick. I might have missed something.
Yeah, on the 5th year, you can eat it.
Let's just read it. Everybody calm down. Let's just read it.
And when you shall come into the land,
So he said, and when you shall come into the land,
and have planted all manner of trees for food, then you shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised.
Right? Keep going.
3 years shall it be uncircumcised unto you. It shall not be eaten of. But in the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy to praise Yahuah withal. And in the 5th year, ye shall eat of the fruit thereof.
Right? So in the 5th year, we can eat it. That's a total of 3 years where it's unclean. 4th year that we can give it to all the fruit go to the Most High God during the 4th year. And in the 5th year, you can eat it. Right? I missed that. I was thinking 5th year, the 4th year, you know what I'm saying? You can get the first little bit, God. After that, it's all me. Well, like God said, he wanted for a whole year. Goodness gracious, right? He said, then after that, a 5th year, you could eat it. Right? Yeah. So that means all those seasons, you got to give it to the Most High God in that 4th year. Then in the 5th year, that's when you can start eating it. Right? Let's go back. So it's important to see that this fruit is considered unclean. When they say uncircumcised, that's a way of us saying unclean. It's considered unclean for eating for 3 years. Then in the 4th year, it's clean enough to dedicate to the Most High God, but that's your whole dedication to him. So that got to feed the priest, right? And then after that, in the 5th year, then you can eat it, right? Then you're able to enjoy it. So now, why is it unclean for 3 years if it's already growing fruit? Right? If it's already growing fruit, why is it unclean for 3 years? Well, because we don't know what, I think personally, we don't know what they was doing with that land. We don't know what they was spraying on their fruit. So the book say if it takes 3 years to plant one and it to produce fruit, it's saying, well, give me 3 years for a whole new generation of fruit to come out of it. Right? Give me a fresh 3 years for a whole new generation of fruit to come from all the way from the roots, all the way to the top, to rid itself of whatever was happening to it beforehand. Now you can trust that it's clean, right? Based off of the way that we keep our land. And at that point, once it's clean, now I can give it to the Most High God. I got to give it to him the whole 4th year. Goodness gracious. Then after that, I've been waiting to get one of these darned apples. Right? Let's see what the book says. This is John chapter 15. What verse is on?
We'll start at 1 then. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away. And every branch that he beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
You are clean through what?
The word which I have spoken unto you.
Man, don't let nobody get to tell you. Don't let nobody downplay this word that we read. Do not let anybody downplay the word that you read. This word is what cleans you. He's telling you that, right? You are clean through the word that I've spoken unto you. People will praise God about that verse right there. Oh, you clean through the word, until you get to pointing stuff out to them in the word that they don't like. Then they say it's not really about the word. It's about your relationship. You know what I'm saying? They want to go, but it's not. See, brother, what they tell us, you worship the word. Ain't that what they tell us? Man tell you I am the word. And they tell me I worship the word like I'm supposed to be offended. Your problem is you don't worship. You don't care nothing about the God that you say you serve. You care about your own darn belly. You care about your own flesh. And you want him to serve you. It don't work like that. You got to submit yourself to the man through his word. His word is the one that cleans you. The sister asked the question. She said, is it just fruit or fruit and veggies? Are animals included as well? No, this is talking specifically about trees. This is specifically about trees that bear fruit, right? So if it's the field, right? If you just got a plant growing out of the field, it don't. If you got a bush that has berries on it, that's different. It's talking about a tree that bears fruit, so like an apple tree or a lemon tree or some type of tree that bears fruit. That's where this rule is talking about. Keep going.
Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye, except ye abide in me.
Right? So now the roots of those trees, right, that's producing these fruits, we don't know what they were doing to them fruits. But that tree is going to keep producing fruit because it's coming from the root. If the root get cut off, and when we in the siege and we having war and we start chopping down those trees, then guess what? There's no more fruit because we cut it off from the root. We've disconnected it. So that's why our law tells us, keep the tree. Don't, just because you going to war with these people, don't get to chopping down the trees. That's a man's what?
This is food.
And what did it say? It's a man's what? It said it's a man's life. What you think Yahuah was telling? We thought we were reading the law just now. We just reading the gospel when he told us that. He said, don't chop down the tree. It's a man's life. Watch this. Keep going.
I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abides in me and I in him, the same brings forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing.
He said, you can't do nothing without me. Keep going.
If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered. And men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit.
He said, here. You want to, man, if you ever got a question about how to glorify the Most High God, watch what he say.
Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall you be my disciples. As the fathers love me, so have I loved you. Continue in my love.
Right? He tells you, if you want to glorify the Most High God, You have to bear fruit. We're going to talk about what it means to bear fruit in just a second. But he's comparing himself to a tree. If you have a tree, you connected to the root. The root for us is Yahuah, is the Messiah, right? And if we're connected to that root, then we'll bear fruit. If we are cut off from that root, then we are burnt in the fire as wood. It's our option to decide whether we want to bear fruit or not. The book say we are cleansed by what?
The word.
The word is what cleanses us. The word is what turns us around. The word is what makes us wait the 3 years so we have good fruit coming from us that's worthy for the Most High God in the 4th, and that's worthy for the people to eat in the 5th. You got to mature. Absolutely. You got to mature in the process. When you carnal, right? When you're carnal and you only after your flesh, that's just the beginning. That happens when you first learn the word. You still carnal. When you first learn the word, you still carnal. You learning, but you still carnal. It takes time. You got to wait and wait and wait. And at some point, the Most High God is saying, man, you already a tree. You was already producing bad fruit. But at some point, the Most High God going to say, okay, now it's good. Now it's good. But you got to wait. You got to patiently wait. You know how long our ancestors was looking at that tree? They looking like, man, it's good. They walked into it. You don't remember, but in Numbers, we spied out in the land. What we say? What we say when we spied out the land? Huh? When we spied out the land, we looked at it, we was like, man, it's some good land. It's milk, it's honey. And guess what else we said it was over there? Man, it's fruit. We saw the trees already. We looking at them trees like, there's some nice trees over there. Now you get over there, you set up your stuff, you hanging up your darn pictures, setting your TV on the wall, everything look good. You know we ain't had no darn TV. But if we setting our TVs on the wall, we said sit on the couch, and you know, at first it's safe because we didn't kill a whole bunch of people. So our door is wide open. We leave the door open, sitting on the couch, right outside the house. Guess what you see? Big old nice, juicy apple tree just sitting right there in your yard. You looking at that thing like, I want some of that. Most High God told you though, you gotta wait. So that's how we are. As soon as we get to the word, we looking at it like, oh, I want to do this. I want to go feed the homeless. And I want to go do this. And I want to go do this. And I want to start praying like that. And I want to start doing all these different things. And we get all these excited things except for what the word told us to do. You sit and you learn the word and obey the simple stuff. When he tell you love your neighbor, you love your neighbor. When he tell you don't hold a grudge, don't hold a grudge. The simple stuff. When he tell you put away idolatry, you put away idolatry. When he tell you stop separation, you stop going to these churches that call themselves denomination of this and denomination of that. When he tell you to focus on him and stop the elementary stuff of the word, then you say, you know what? I'm done with Christmas. I'm done with this. I'm done with that. When you just obey the word, the simple stuff of the word be the hard stuff for us. We always chasing the big stuff. I want to do a miracle. I want to be seen and do this. I want to get up there and preach too. No, just wait. Because when you looking at that apple and you sitting out there and the man told you wait 3 years, I promise you it feel the same. I promise you our ancestors felt the same way. Man, I just want to eat that apple. But it's the word that cleanses it. It's the word that cleanses us. It's the word that causes us to change. It's the word. And I'm telling you, everybody going to agree with that. Everybody going to say, yeah, no, absolutely. The word do it. Until you start giving them the word. Until you start breaking it down for them. So you start putting it in, you say, listen, this is what the word say. This is what you need to do. You know what they're going to say after that? No, man, it's just, you got to have a relationship. Sometimes, brother, let me tell you something about the word. Sometimes the Lord works in mysterious ways. Hey, y'all relax. Yes, sir. Right? Sometimes He works in mysterious ways. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say, you know what? Sometimes you really don't know what he's saying. Sometimes, brother, you reading it, but it's the spiritual eye that got to see it. They get to making up stuff you ain't never heard of in your life. And then they're going to tell you, they're going to say, you got to have a relationship with him. Because you know the only way you really know what God wants for you, you got to have a relationship with him. Right? You got to have a relationship with him. If you got a relationship with him, then you know what he's doing. Let's see what a relationship is. Keep reading. Because I want to know, if somebody tell me you got to have a relationship with the Most High God, guess what I need to do now? I need to know, how do I get a relationship with the Most High God? Right? Let's see. Keep going.
Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love.
He said what?
If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love.
Watch what he say now.
Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
Watch what he say now.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you.
He said, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Watch this.
Greater love has no man than this, than a man lay down his life for his friends.
Listen, there is no greater love than a man who lays down his life for his friends. What is a friend? All the things that y'all just said are attributes of a relationship. A friend is a relationship. He's saying there's no greater love than if a man lay down his life for his friend. Then watch what he say next.
Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you.
So if you want a relationship with Yahuah, what you got to do?
Whatever I command you.
Don't let these people confuse you with all this spiritual miracle stuff. Oh, well, look, brother, look, you got to read the Bible with a spiritual eye. You gotta tap into your spiritual man. And sometimes the word as it's written ain't the word that the Most High God put on. These people be sitting here, they'll come up with anything to reject what the word says. And you can't do that. You have to submit yourself. When you feel yourself resisting what the word is saying, you have to check that in yourself. Don't let yourself come up with excuses and move around. It's supposed to happen. Your flesh has to die. It's supposed to hurt. You're supposed to feel it. And when you feel it, don't resist it. Die. Let it kill you. Because I'm telling you, when you come back, you're going to have fruit. You're going to have something that you can produce. You're going to have something that's going to help. You're going to have something that's needful. Let's go to Galatians. It's Galatians chapter 5. This is Galatians chapter 5. We don't have to get it, but Yahuah told us, I think in the 12th chapter in Matthew, he told us, he said, make the tree good and make its fruit good. He make the tree good and make its fruit good. He said, out of the heart of man come forth the treasures. So if you got a good heart, meaning that your behavior is good, you can't have good behavior unless you have a good heart. Right? Who's seen their heart before? Raise your hand if you've seen your heart. You seen your heart? That's pretty crazy, boy. You seen your heart? Well, you might actually seen your heart. That's different, though. Right? You have, yeah, you seen the picture of it. Who ain't nobody looked down and saw it, though, like, oh, it look pretty good today. You know what I'm saying? You can't see your heart. Right? So then how do you know what's in your heart? The only way to know what's in your heart is the fruit that comes out of you. Right? Let's talk about the fruit. This is Galatians chapter 5. Give me verse 13? It's Galatians chapter 5, verse 13.
For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion of the flesh, but by love serve one another. For all the law is fulfilled in one word.
He said all the law is fulfilled in one word. Watch what it is.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Ain't that the same thing that Yahuah just said? I gave you this commandment. That you love one another? That's what he's saying. He's saying the whole law is fulfilled in one word. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as yourself, because that's what Yahuah commanded. Keep going. Watch this.
But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
Mm-hmm.
This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and those are contrary one to the other,
Uh-huh.
so that ye cannot do the things that you would.
So when you hear that word and it make you want to squirm, be like, no, that can't be what it means. You know what I'm saying? No, I can't mean that, because it's just like that just don't sit right in my spirit. When you hear that word and you start feeling yourself do that, what you're feeling what he's describing. He's describing the flesh is warring against the spirit. That's what you're feeling inside of you, right? When a man of God comes to you or a woman of God comes to you, and then they present that word to you, and you look at the word and it's just like, ooh, that hurt. That pricked me to the heart. That's your flesh warring against the spirit. Let your flesh die. Don't try to squirm. Don't try to defend it. Don't try to fight against it. Just look at the word and be like, that is what it say. That's all you have to say is, yeah, that is what it say. It don't matter how I feel. Let your flesh die. Watch this. Keep going.
But if you be led by the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Right? Those are the fruits of the flesh. Right? When those behaviors come out of you, those are behaviors that tell you you have corrupt fruit. That means that you need to keep waiting. You cannot eat from that tree. It is unclean. You have uncircumcised fruit. Right? Now, let's see the other behaviors. Let's see.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Nobody can condemn you if you have these behaviors. Those are examples of good fruit. When you have those fruit coming, your tree is good to give to God. At that point, you're producing fruit, and then you're glorifying the Most High God. So when we talk about fruit, this is what we're talking about. When we talk about fruits of the Spirit, this is what we're talking about. This is how we get into the kingdom. Nobody gets into the kingdom without these things. Right. With the behaviors that we talked about before, the fruits of the flesh, nobody gets into the kingdom. Understand that. If you are doing any of those sins and you have not repented from all of those sins, you will not enter into the kingdom. Let nobody deceive you. Don't let nobody trick you. Don't let nobody make you feel good. You have to do the work, and the word is going to clean you up. And if the word hasn't cleaned you up, then you got to wait, and you got to wait, and you got to wait until the Most High God say, make the tree good and make his fruit good. And at that point, now you can offer something to the Most High God. All right. Any questions? What you got?
How do you?
Your behaviors. You ain't got no darn question. You always try. Go ahead. Come up with something. Hurry up. Knock him out, Michael. Any other questions? What do you got?
Okay.
All right. Let's pray out. You got one job, Eli. Come on, man. You got one job.